Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Plate Stack Chat. If you're watching live, yes, we are late, but that's because we wanted to make sure you had plenty of time to get here at the start so you could welcome back with us Tom Forder, Mr. Chalking Fitness himself, who's back once again around the Plate Stack.
Woo!
Thank you very much.
That's a full round of applause.
It's been a while. My mic wasn't even recognised when I kind of tried to sit down.
As you blew the dust off it.
Yeah. So,
nice. And we also, obviously, I'm here. Sam is with us once again, and we're welcoming back to the Plate Stack Mike Halpin.
Let's see everybody again.
Mike, you gone 1 week, and then we got you back.
Yeah.
The dream. Couldn't live without him.
No. Well, particularly today, we probably couldn't do this without him. So, if you listened last week, we did the fantasy draft for fantasy fitnessing. No, it wasn't a draft actually, was it? It was just
we just shared our
salary cap picks, which is obviously kind of based on budget more than anything. I've seen quite a few people have jumped into the league, so that's great. And what's nice about that one is you can still join up until the game starts. You can kind of still search for the Plate Stack Chat League on Fantasy Fitnessing, make your team. Hopefully Tom's made his team now, because he hadn't when I checked earlier, and I was very disappointed. But
you'll see as we get into today's topic, which I'll not spoil. I've got some catching up to do.
Yeah, well, that nice one about that is you make it, you can just kind of leave it, and every now and again you look and see, all right, how am I doing? Yeah, not too bad.
Has anyone popped for drugs yet? Do I need to change anything?
Yeah. How many of my athletes are still in the game?
Yeah.
But today we're going to try another fantasy league that is a little bit more involved throughout the games, and there's a little bit more strategy involved, because it's not based on just who you've picked and how they've done overall, but you're going event by event, right? So you're picking your player and you're sending them in for that event. A few events have been released now, so that could influence people's picks.
This feels so much. Yeah. It feels so much like a game of Pokemon.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so cool. At the risk of sounding like Hiller, which actually at this moment in time I'm not super pissed about, because he's sort of changing. I said to myself, I'm never going to watch him again, and I ended up watching him, and actually I sort of changed a little bit. And he put out a video today about the one and only Mike Halpin, so I watched that. I mean, I'm halfway through. I'm halfway through, and he hasn't started talking about you yet. He's just been talking about his creaky elbow and rope climbs. But
you got to get to the rope climbs, the ladder falling, and whatever else. So get to me,
For a guy who says he doesn't want to be like Craig Ritchie, he talks about himself an awful lot.
He just needs to get the camera right in his face, right here, and then.
But anyway, go if you don't leave us, but go listen to that if you want to know a bit.
Listen to that in your leisure later.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing Lawn Chair Leaderboarding, which is the brainchild / baby of Tyler Watkins, who's been on the podcast before. And I know what you're thinking, why didn't we get Tyler to come and help us out this time? He's driving to Madison. So with that lame excuse,
I thought it was because we didn't like him anymore.
For all of us stuck at home.
Yeah.
And not in Madison.
And this is just another way you can enjoy being at home and not in Madison. So we're going to basically do it live. So first we need to kind of discuss how it works and how we're going to set up our game, and then we'll do it. And if you want to do the same, you can't join our league once it's set, because it's a snake draft. So once it's done, it's done. But you can create your own, and you can invite us if you want us to come and join one of your leagues. Just let us know, and we can do it that way. So I'm sure Sam will put some links in the description.
Yeah, buddy.
It's called delegation, right? So I'm kind of gonna just, Mike, do you want to talk us through what decisions we need to make first of all?
Yeah, so we do have to set it up. So I do not. I guess I should give caveats here. I do not work for Tyler, and he's a good friend of mine now through CrossFit analytics and all the things. But yeah, he just launched this site for the games this year. He said he's going to be building it out between now and Wodapalooza, I believe, to add quite a bit more to it. But we wanted to get a lot of hands on here. So doing a favor for that guy. So, we'll ignore this other podcast. We'll go down here. We only got the games.
They're not the real media. Available. Yeah, not the real media.
Toying with the real media. Savon's also at home. So
you know who's really who definitely is the real media? It's the Morning Chalk Up, obviously. They do some great stuff.
So just for anyone that's listening,
my articles without much changes to them.
Yeah, we've got two. Yeah, well, buddy. I know Tom's been published by Morning Chalk Up, so I would assume they must be real media. As has Mike. Tom's been on the bottom line. So
have you had a video out yet, Jace?
With Morning Chalk Up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on the bottom line.
Oh, I haven't watched it. Sorry.
That's all right.
Wow.
It's the midnight chalk up for us. Yeah, it is, Yash.
All right, so here's where we got some decisions to make. The way this works is we'll do a snake draft. We have to pick order or randomize it here in a second. But you do a snake draft. The best for this size is likely to do all athletes, not like men and women. It's just a little bit less to keep track of as well. So the way it would work is, well, we can start using real events, I guess. The first event is that Bike to Work event now that they've announced. It's a sort of a gymnastics biking event. So with that, you could play Tia, just to use an example. You only get to play her a certain amount of times, which we can also say here. And then once she's done, you would move on to somebody else, or you can sort of intermix them through the events that you think they would be best in. That's what makes this a little bit different than just sort of picking winners or just picking based on who will get the most points, is you have to play them at the right times.
Yeah.
From only the athletes that you have.
So you've got to play your athletes to their strength, keeping in mind that you can only use them a number of times, and probably looking at like who else is in your hand that maybe, I assume it would be like this event would be like a home run for Tia, but I've also got this athlete that will probably get maybe, a top 5 here, and I can save Tia and use her later for this event where she's probably going to be, more useful when I look at my squad as a whole. So there's a little bit more kind of brain work involved. Oh, suddenly I'm regretting decisions.
You haven't made any yet, but you might have to change your...
I mean, the decision to do this, notes. To be honest.
Oh. Well.
As soon as we said brain work, I was just like, oh
yeah,
no.
it's sad time.
And you got to be on it a little bit. Those late night events, if they get announced right before, so you do have a window. You can go and just put all your players in.
No, Mike, I'm gonna stop you right here, because this is the one fatal flaw I've thought about with this is you have a window. We'll probably be asleep at some of these events.
It goes back to Yash with the midnight chalk up.
Yeah. So if that happens, I'm hoping that we'll like kind of know what those events are with enough time to have set our squads sort of, and then go to bed and wake up and see if they've won. I mean, I'll probably stay up and watch it anyway. But
they are going to be adjusting the schedule. I think they said tonight. By tonight, we'll know. We won't know all the events, but we'll at least know
when they are.
Right.
So the first option you have then is athletes per member. So that's how many we choose each, right? Okay, cool. So that's
so like 8 would be. You could do 4 men and 4 women. Obviously, then you'd be taking sort of the top or the best available of each. You can also intermix that, so you could have 6 men and 2 women, whatever comes out with 8. You don't have to take from one or the other.
Okay.
And then, so they did announce there's 12 events, so we could do like 6, but if you really want to get into that bottom of the barrel territory, you can go all the way down to like 12 or more. So
Bottom of the barrel territory.
if you want to play the and then athlete plays. So the way this works is, again, this is a maximum, not a minimum. So so you would say, again, to use Tia or Justin or whoever, you can only play them twice. So with those types of athletes, probably a little bit easier to say like, oh, I'm just going to slot them in if I don't know any better. But then some other athletes, like maybe like a Guy or somebody, if it's a lifting event.
Mike, stop giving clues. Stop giving people clues for their picks. This is
Let me stop naming names.
Well, the only people in this tournament are us, right? So.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike. Let me rephrase. Mike, stop giving Sam clues.
I'll put them in the private chat. Hold on. So this is the way I was thinking of doing it, but you three tell me.
Let's. Are we happy to let Mike pick the confines?
You guys are just gonna regret this the moment.
Yeah, do it, Mike.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we can moan and complain about it after the fact and say, "Oh, it's Mike's fault. We would have done it differently. We'd have let you pick one athlete."
So this is where I'm going to take a little detour for anybody watching that may wonder, like, what's going on. Just for a podcast like this, what would happen is everybody on all their screens right now would have to go through and do the draft. So I'm going to switch. Take my screen off here for a second. Do this for you.
I'm excited to hear Tom's picks because obviously, like, Sam and I kind of went back and forth on why we picked certain people, mostly because of budget, but why we picked certain people last week on the other one. But we haven't heard anything from Tom, so we don't know. I don't know what deep dark research he's been doing.
I've been pondering a lot on what you said last week and watching some other things. And I'm not going to say like you're right, because I would never say that. But I, maybe I was giving you a little more stuff, a little more hassle than I should have been. Maybe should we say?
Right. What you're saying is you should have just.
You're either mad, bad, or sad.
Great.
All right, so I just randomized it. It's going to be Jason, Tom, Sam, me, in that order, and then it'll snake that.
Okay.
I got the last pick. Oh, we should just shut this down. I got the last pick. All right.
We're going to be able to see a list, right? Because I definitely don't know the.
No. From memory, Tom, you must pull your athletes.
You can pick Rich.
Well, I know who's winning bike to work.
And so we can pick men or women at any time then in this system. We're not picking men and then women. Okay.
What I'll do is I'll just put them on here, and then so we'll start with Jason. We'll go to me.
Okay, so Tia.
Double. I'll go like that.
So yeah, if I get first pick, it's going to be Tia. And if I could play her for 12 events, that would be great.
Yeah. Let's have the screen up.
We'll put this up now. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, okay. You good? Yeah. Sweet. So, Tia.
Yeah, don't accidentally put Tim Paulson.
Here we go.
All right.
Tom's in.
I'm going to go Jay Crouch.
As your first pick.
Pick one. Pack one, pick one. You've got Jay Crouch.
Hey.
What do you
not
know
that I
we
think
don't
Jay
know?
Crouch is like bad.
I think
None
Jay
of them
Crouch
are
is
bad.
great, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain about anybody else's picks, except for Tia
No.
first. That should have been fourth, obviously.
So I lost my headphones in. Me, I'm going to pick... let's play this sensibly.
Oh,
I'm gonna
there's more down here. This is in alphabetical order, not in your ranking. So.
Guy Malheiros.
Oof.
Oh,
Wow.
Laura
going
Horvath.
for it.
Okay.
And then who are you going to have next? So Mike's gone Laura Horvath as his first pick, and Roman Krennikov as his second. Okay.
I don't want to be the American that gets on here and only talks about American athletes. So.
No,
no one has picked an American athlete yet.
That's true. That's so true. I'll be the first to pick an American athlete. I'm going to go Haley Adams.
Wow.
Nice, interesting.
Sorry, question here on how this works once the kind of tournament starts. Like, is it only the athlete that wins that scores a point, or do you get like placing? Is it?
Great question. You get their points. So if they get 100
great.
points, you get 100 points. If they get 20, you get 20.
I'm going to go with.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Justin Medeiros.
Made by Johnny. So Johnny reckons Roman in second or third at the games, I assume.
The thing is, though, that you could have an athlete who like wins the games, but you could still get more points if you've picked more people of like. So if Justin wins the games, but he never kind of gets higher than second or third across the board, and you've managed to maneuver that you've had the athlete that's sort of been first in every event, you'd actually win despite not having Justin. So that's kind of like interesting.
And given I don't know if Justin actually had any
he didn't
event wins, right? So
no.
It's an interesting one, yeah.
No, you know who so is it me?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Velna, who did have event wins.
Yeah, it's going to start getting difficult now.
Let me get the double up.
And I'm gonna have Yonakoski.
Okay.
You don't have to have all men or 4 men or 4 women.
I've got two. I've got Tia. Don't worry.
I know.
Don't worry. I've got Tia.
Yeah, I don't need any other women. I've got Tia.
Tia beats all the men too. So.
Cara Saunders for me, please.
You basket.
Yeah, she was definitely on my list too.
Yeah. Event winners and people who do well. I'm going to go for... I'm going to go Lucy Campbell. And really hope there's a swimming event.
There is.
Yeah, there will obviously be a swimming.
No, there's a pool swim that everyone's doing on Saturday.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, which is potentially why I've got Yonakoski.
Yeah.
And why Lucy was also on my list.
Yeah.
Is this screwing you guys up looking at this list that you can't see the bottom of it?
No,
I don't need
really.
that. Well, it's maybe messing Tom up, but I've basically...
That was the only thing I was thinking.
I've got a list, and I'm just working my way down my list, and as you guys are taking my picks, I'm crossing them off, but then I'm crossing mine off, and I'm...
So again, I don't want to formally help anybody, but the Panchik brothers are down here. The Malabine is down here. She won't be down there for very long, but
no, because you're about to pick her. Yeah, she was my next pick.
Well, who is your actual next pick then?
Saxon Panchik. That's an eclectic mix for me so far.
Oh, it's Saxon on my list. Move him off.
Is it me?
This is...
Yep.
Oh, sorry. BKG. Thanks.
You cheeky boy.
Always someone who's going to bring home some top tens.
For sure. Johnny's saying that Krennikov smashed it in Dubai. But is Dubai a real test of fitness?
I think it's kind of considered the closest to the games, probably.
If they run up a ski slope, we'll all be.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Dubai, see, I'm already torn between two here. But okay, I'll take Ricky Garrard.
Yeesh.
And I'm
Big biker.
gonna take. I'm gonna take Danny Spiegel.
There's such a massive advantage of being at either end of the snake in a 4-man snake draft. Literally, when you're in like a 15-person snake draft, like, yeah, all right, you need 2 picks because everybody's like, yeah, there's such an advantage there.
I'm gonna go. It's me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gabby Magala. Thank you.
Oh, it's Gabriella. Can we just take a pause on Danny Spiegel that early? Is she gonna make it all the way through?
I don't need her to make it all the way through. I need her to make it to like the max lift, which is Saturday, right?
She's got to do max jerks already. So if you saw that or not.
Yeah.
But isn't that with a sprint as well? That's the only.
It is. So that's gonna equal her out a bit.
Oh, I'm not sure she's going to do that great. Danielle Brandon. I think there's a lot of hype there, and I want her to do great. Don't get me wrong, but just not sure.
Yeah, these corner picks are a little different. I'm gonna take.
Who's helping?
We're gonna have so many people left over, and some of them are gonna be really big.
That's fine.
So many really good people as well.
Yeah. The field is going to do better than the 4 of us.
Well, not if they forget to put their athlete in each time. That's what we've got to hope. That would be good if you could select also like play against computer at the same time and you just have it
fill it in with like.
Well, I mean, if you don't have friends, it's a bit excluding, isn't it? Really,
it's like AI.
Like Morning Chocolate doing
6 days a week in the gym.
Morning Chocolate's doing the top 5 picks. There's the fantasy fitnessing one. I think is doing like a streak where you just have to play it alone, but you just have to pick the winner every time or something like that, or the top 50%.
Yeah.
So
there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
I think this one's a good combo, but yeah, you gotta have, unfortunately, real life friends that actually want to talk about fantasy
At the same time as you.
Brooke Wells. Ooh, interesting.
I was also trying to remember who I picked in another one, but maybe I don't spread myself too thin on.
Oh, so this is the goal is to do so many.
I'm just gonna have so many that I'm just gonna lose track of all.
Yeah. My only fear is that I feel like I'm picking certain athletes. I'm like, oh, because they'll be good at this kind of event, but also this one will be good at this kind of event. And then I'm thinking, oh, why have I got 2 people that are probably good at the same kind of event? Like, I need it spread out more. But we will see. We'll see. Sam.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So I'm torn actually now between my boy Cole or Noah.
Which Cole?
Sega.
I'm guessing.
Sega.
Given he's your boy, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Cole Grease Shaver.
Wait,
never chatted to him. I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with Noah.
Noah Olsen. Okay, so which
Never
brings Sam's team to Guy, Haley Adams, Lucy Campbell, Saxon Panchek, Daniel Brandon, and Noah so far. And Tom has Jay Crouch, Justin Medeiros, Cara Saunders, BKG, Gabriella Magawa, and
yeah. Do we go for Noble's latest athlete, Emma Lawson, or Emma McQuaid? Emma McQuaid for me, please.
He's going Puma. He's got the big cat. Got that big cat mentality with Emma McQuaid.
So I am going to pick. So I've noticed I've got I've got a very like male heavy field at the moment as well. I've kind of noticed, but I am going to take maybe the only person that's going to be able to push Roman on a machine event, which is Jason Hopper. even if he spelt his name wrong.
Fancy.
And no one's taken Amanda Barnhart yet, have they?
No,
I don't know if I've been keeping track.
no,
of these,
they
but
haven't.
I will
No.
take Amanda Barnhart, please.
Excellent. You said machine, Jason,
Yeah.
and there's another man who sometimes is pretty good on a machine, and that's Henrik Haapalainen. But
Oh,
Ooh.
making this good for TV, I'm actually going to go with one of his fellow qualifiers out of Sid, and I'm going to
Find out after the break.
Find out next week.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Andre Houdet,
Oh, he's gone for it.
who's a strong athlete and can push as well.
brand new father, I think. Like within.
Yes, indeed.
Got that dad strength.
There you go.
New dad strength. Could you scroll down, please, Halbert? Because I am now up. I don't know who we have and haven't had.
Talking of dad strength.
What is for Phoebe? You? Who are we talking about?
TM.
Oh, Travis.
Dad of four, right?
Travis?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking Willie George, but Travis Myers, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. This is so hard now, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's
Last few, yeah.
I think it's hard just looking for like, because I think there are athletes that have particular strengths that I need that I don't have in my team, but have been picked by other people. So now you're trying to look at athletes you're not that sure about and thinking, are they really good at gymnastics? I'm not sure.
Do you know what?
Are they
Yeah, I'm going to go Alexis Raptis.
Mm.
I think she'll be in for an event. I don't know which one yet, but
I think she will too.
she's pretty solid gymnast. Was that her thing? Who was it that posted that? Was it Brian? Was it you, Mike, that posted?
I wrote an article about her. Yeah. I wrote about all the rookies, but she was sort of the highlight. Her and Emma, I think, are of the women's rookies. They're the ones probably to watch the most, but. There's like a stranger rookie. I'm looking for my own person now while I talk about this. There's like an odd rookie field because it's not all the Mals and Emmas where it's like they're immediately going from teens to individual.
Made by Johnny's asking Mal O'Brien, but I think Mike's already taken her.
Yeah, Mike's already got Mal.
Oh, yeah.
He's just not crossed her off. Well, you only had crossed her off.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm wondering. I don't know if she has this. Oh, Gabby's taken. Yeah, I haven't been great about this crossing off. But,
this is so cool. It's so weird because it's like the best of the rest, but the rest are still pretty good.
Oh, Dallin's a good choice.
Dallin's a good shout. That.
Last pick. What hole do I just?
Johnny, who am I picking? Type me in. Type in the comments who my next pick is, please.
Quickly, because
it's going to be me next. I think there's probably a 20, 30 second delay. Ooh. Who's might go for last pick?
There's more than that as I sit here in hem and haw. I'm going to go with
Ellie Turner. Okay.
Just crossing another name off my list, Mike.
So I'm stuck right between two now. And it's three Coulter Mertens, because I think Jason might be picking Coulter Mertens, but maybe not. Who was I thinking about then? Tudor Magda, because apparently from last week he's an absolute savage. So I'm going to go Tudor Magda because I'm hoping that was Jason's next pick.
Yeah, well, that's pretty annoying. I'll be honest. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie.
Emma Lawson. I'm sorry, mate. Emma Lawson was would have been a good pick if I didn't want to choose Jason off.
Yeah, that's all right. I was like, oh, I'm going to throw out to a rookie and really support these guys, and then there we go.
I'm really happy with that, and I've got 4 and 4.
You got two rookies.
Final pick for me. I'm going to go with a female because I like the balance of 4 and 4. And based on Mike, a reel you put up showing like kind of the Tia and Justin like wire to wire, that type of thing, right? So it was now Christy Aramo O'Connell got a few in there. The issue I have, and this is me stretching it out, right, is that I'd go for that based on points, but actually I don't feel confident enough to know when I should pick her. So I mean, I could take a look and have a look at her top scores over the last kind of few games she's been at, but whether I'll actually get around to doing that is another question. But it's a tough one. I am going to stick with her, and then I'm going to force myself to go away and do some research. So yeah, go for Christy Aramo O'Connell.
She's going to look strange sitting out here on the bench. So
right. So
which means Jason, is this like where we go for like the pointless thing where Jason, talk us through the rest of the board?
Oh well, first of all, I'm going to say that I think I was going to pick Tudor Magda. That was going to be my next pick, actually. So you are right on that, and I'm really tempted to go with a different rookie. I'm tempted to go with Alex Kazan.
Okay.
My concern is she's probably going to do very well in the same events that Danny Spiegel, Amanda Barnhart, and Tia are going to do well in, because she is incredibly strong. And I haven't done enough research on her to know how good she is at gymnastics. But I know that underdogs makes them do a lot of like L-sit holds and stuff like that. So I'm going to stick with her, and I'm going to trust underdogs programming.
Okay.
This is why you and Tom get on the other shows, because you know how to just like say it and then explain it and then come right back around, and you're not sure if you were.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. What's interesting is like Fikowski. Was he taken? Who took Brent?
No one took Brent. Oh yeah,
you took Brent straight away.
Oh,
didn't even notice.
I was gonna say, if you guys were, Brent wasn't there.
I thought we were just leaving him there.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Jacqueline Dahlstrom.
We can say whatever we want. So, yeah, I took these. Did I take these back to back or whatever? I guess.
You took
Laura Roman.
Oh yeah,
you took Brent and Mal.
Let's just go through and read out our thing. So, Mike, do you want to read out your list?
So I have Laura Horvath, Roman Krenikov, Brent Fikowski, Mal O'Brien, Lazard Dukic, Brooke Wells, Dallin Pepper, and Ellie Turner.
Cool. I've got Guy Malheiros, Hayley Adams, Lucy Campbell, Saxon Panchik, Danielle Brandon, Noah Olsen, Alexis Raptis, and Tudor Magda.
And for myself, I've got Jay Crouch, Justin Medeiros, another Aussie, Cara Saunders. Excited. Hopefully she makes it onto the competition floor this year. BKG, can't go wrong there. Gabby Magala, Emma McQuaid, Pocket Rocket, Andre Hude, new dad. Big up, respect there. And Christy Aramo O'Connell.
The most surprising thing for me about your list is that you picked Jay Crouch first.
I was like, even these 3 or 4 could just be flip-flopped, and I don't know that we were.
So
Yeah.
Jay
You like
Jay
a guy,
Crouch
get a
was,
guy though.
there was like a gut feel there, right? You know, there was just like, yeah, I want Jay Crouch in there,
Tom,
right?
you've changed so much because I remember when we did fantasy drafts last year, and you had the most analytical mind, and I was like, "Nah, I just like this person. I got a good feeling about them." And
And
You just
since
didn't get it.
that, yeah, what's changed since last year?
yeah,
New job and a
Zen
6-month-old.
Zen dad vibe. Yeah. So I have got on my team Tia Claire Toomey, Patrick Vellner. So if we're going event wins, Tia's got the most event wins like ever, so that's great. Pat Vellner also has got a good number of event wins. Yonakoski, we've got swimming. Ricky Garrard, somebody said there was a bike event. Danny Spiegel, very strong. Jason Hopper on the machines. Amanda Barnhart, she's quick and she's strong. And Alex Kazan is strong, but I'm hoping is also very good at strict gymnastics that Boz will introduce at some point in the workout. So I know we have to set these for the individual events that have come up. Now, a couple of events have already been announced.
Yeah.
Would you like to just sort of say who you probably would pick for those events from your team?
For those
Yes.
listening who might not be aware of what events have already been announced, should we just, Jason, just want to
Yeah.
quickly
Well,
run
I
through
thought
those,
we
please?
would do. I kind of thought that would be the way we would talk instead of just being like,
Sounds
so
good,
event
sounds
one is event two is. I thought we could kind of talk about the events in a little bit more interesting way by highlighting the skills maybe and strengths that would be required to do well in said event and who on our team might match up to that. That was my plan, Tom. That was
I'm gonna start then, because the person who I'm gonna pick for event one was gonna be my pick one.
okay.
But I knew that Mike was after me, and I knew that he probably wouldn't pick this person in his first two picks. So I went Haley Adams for event one, because it's the gymnastics and grunt work, right? It's the gymnastics and endurance, which she's great at, both of those. So she was going to be my pick one, but then I was like, I can't not pick pick one as Tia's gone. Like he's gonna win the strength events, right? So
he could win that if they do a sprint. He'd be good in that as well.
Yeah. So I was thinking like he's a better utility than a Haley, and I was figured that you weren't going to pick Haley, Mike. So Haley's going to be my pick for event one.
Can you remind me how many times can we play a person?
2.
Only 2.
So your Tia pick will get you 200 points likely. And
well,
then,
as long as I do you know, I wish I didn't have Tia.
If you
now,
pick the one
you know what
that
can
she
happen
doesn't
is
win,
I can pick Tia on 2 events that she loses. That will be.
That'd be so funny.
Like,
but even then, you're getting a minimum of like 90 points, right?
Yeah, that's true. So can we just? I was just trying to pull up the event. So event one is at the Capitol. Yeah.
Event one is bike to work.
Oh, bike to work. Yeah. Sorry, where is it?
75 toes to bar, 5-mile bike, 75 chest to bar, 5-mile bike.
Okay.
And it looks like it's an off-road bike. It's not like a crit. Only because of the picture they put with it, with Justin riding a bike on the grass.
Yeah, when that's from 2020.
When they let Justin like try it first, let him have a go a few weeks in advance, just so he'd be able to do Right. So for bike to work, I think I would pick Ricky Garrard. Would be my pick on that one. You know, he's basically bikes to work anyway, so I think he'd be a good pick for that. And he's pretty good at the. I mean, he's not. Well, they're all good at gymnastics, like at that level, but I think he's really good on the bike. Yeah.
Fair play.
After you, Tom.
My pick for event one is my last pick, and I've quickly done my homework that I said I was going to set for myself, and I'm actually going to pick Christy Aramo O'Connell because she came second in event 10 last year, which was the what was it? The run and 30 toes to bar, run 30 toes to bar, run 30 toes to bar. So cardio and toes to bar seem to be her jam. So that's who I'm going with there.
Yeah, I had a similar thought process. as I was thinking about the event as I was picking, and I think one of these two might come up later with that capital event. But Lazar won that same event, the event 10 run toes to bar. I don't know what he looks like on a bike. I've seen Ricky, but if he can switch gears, he should be pretty good.
Can you imagine? Maybe that'll be his downfall. I didn't know how to change gears on my bike.
Yeah.
Okay. Who did you say you were picking? Haley? No.
Me?
Yeah.
Haley for event 1.
Okay. Well, I think they do a lot of cycling at Mayhem, don't they? So event 2, A and B and 2B, is the shuttle to overhead.
So it's disgusting.
Run 400 meters max jerks, run 600 meters max jerks, run 800 meters max jerks, and it's like a 2-minute window. Then it's minutes like 0 to 2, then a minute rest, then 3 to 6, then 2-minute rest, and 8 to 12 basically. And so then it's just so the run increases, the time increases, but they've got to get as many jerks in as they can. I reckon Amanda Barnhart for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think she won did she not win this? She did. I feel like she won a sprint event.
I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. This is not a sprint event.
No, but she's also she makes like heavy barbell look effortless.
Okay.
So it would be like pick her or Danny, but Danny struggles on a run.
Yeah.
Whereas if Amanda is good on a run, then that's
okay. But Amanda Barnhart's a solid pick, man.
Oh, she won the bike snatch event. But in 2019 she won the sprint couplet. And in 2018 she won the clean and jerk speed ladder. So
Jason, you've changed.
Wow, just rattle them off.
Love that. Love that.
Well, Tom, you kept not showing up. Somebody had to inject some facts.
Step in with the knowledge. That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
200-pound max jerks for the women. I think I'm probably going to go Roman for mine. Sorry if I just went out of order there.
No, you're fine.
Who would you take, guys?
Go on, Tom, you go.
Yeah, so I'm torn a little bit on this one between like Cara Saunders, weightlifting and all that, kind of strong, and Andre Houdet. And I need to go do a little bit of research because whilst he'll always throw up the big numbers for like a max lift, I want to know whether that really pushes across into what should be, more like kind of endurance at a higher weight. What's the men's weight for this workout?
300 pounds.
300 pounds.
Ooh, okay. So they're probably, I don't know. It's really interesting when you look at that weight, right? Because it's about like who can hold on and get a few reps in, because otherwise they're just gonna be knackering themselves with extra cleans. So
well, it's from blocks. They showed
it. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So helps them out a little bit, but
I'm going to go Cara Saunders mainly because I feel she'll be able to differentiate herself more than Andre will on that workout versus other men. And then be proved completely wrong. But it's about sounding right, not being right.
Yeah. As long as you say it with enough conviction and people will be like, oh, but he had a good reason for picking. Obviously something went wrong for them. Like obviously they didn't execute correctly, because the way Tom made it sound, it was a lock. She had it.
Yeah. This sounds like a gi workout, but I actually don't think it is, because I don't think it's going to come down to actually how many jerks you get. I think it's going to come down to what you've got left.
Yeah, and maybe the judging standards will be a little bit more precise than they were at Copper.
All right, Hiller. No, I think so. No, I'm not going to go with gi. I think Danielle Brandon is going to be good at something like this.
Oh, she is also very strong overhead.
Yeah.
and she's a good runner.
Because this is basically like
That
a
is a
middle
good
distance run.
Yeah,
She does
With
push
some-
jerks on. I think she did them through all those complexes. Too.
yeah. She never split jerked the whole time, and she did very well in that event. So
Yeah.
this is fine, and that's also kind of like why I've gone with like Amanda Barnhart, because she, like, do you remember there was like the 1 rep max clean and stuff, and you've got like all the others are just they look so like technically proficient and so good, and she just walks up to it and is like, oh, pick it up, there we go, and she's just got this strength. And I think that's when it's just the jerk, like I feel like that's more, you just need that strength more than when it's like a complex and you're having to do multiple lifts, that's where technique is really coming in. But I feel like when it's this, it's just going to be who can endure the longest and get that 1 or 2 extra reps.
Although with blocks, it might favor the technician even more because they can't go for a walk, right? So you can't have like Chandler Smith. I know he's not there, right? But he no good, right? Because he wouldn't be able to run all over the platform, kind of keeping it above his head, right? So,
well, I heard that's what they said. They said, "Oh, Chandler's not coming this year. We can finally break out the blocks."
Well, I was thinking this event. I was thinking about maybe picking Noah, but he just runs weirdly. He does this like weird throw your head back thing when he sort of gets a bit, yeah.
And I was trying to look at comparables for this because, like, I mean, they've done shuttle runs through. Well, they almost did them in the open, right? So, like, they've done shuttle runs through every quarters and semifinals, but they did those with rope climbs, or they did those with weren't they both?
Event 6 and 7 last year was the run and clean, right, ladder. So
okay.
So that would be kind of interesting. Women's weight kind of finished on 205 in event 6 and then started on 210. So that was the one where Haley Adams, I don't think, could get past the first barbell on the second workout, right? So, but
Tia
took
very different both of those events. So,
well, and that's so again, I don't own this website. I'm just helping a friend. So I don't know how the site will actually count this type of event where it's a 2A and a 2B. So the way they're doing this is all of the shuttle runs or all the run portions are going to be calculated, and then all the max jerks are going to be calculated as 2 separate items.
2 separate scores, yeah.
Yeah, but for the time being, it's one event, so I don't know. We should go back.
Mate, Danielle Brandon was a solid pick. Without knowing that, Danielle Brandon was a solid pick for this event because she will smash the runs and she'll smash the lifts. Thank you, Danielle. In your rants.
If we've all picked on this one, we'll just quickly do the last event that we know for sure, which is the Capital. 20 pig flips, 3.5 mile run, 200 meter jerry bag carry, 200 meter Husafel carry. That's it. Yeah. Pat Vellner.
Yeah.
I can go in that quick. BKG. I mean, if it was a yoke, then it would be a no-brainer. But odd object, I'll take that as well. And he was pretty good on the long run of something like Murph, right? So I think he'll be a solid pick there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm doing the same thing.
Like maybe Tudor Magda, but I don't know enough about him.
How heavy is that pig for the women? Isn't it like
the pig is 350 pounds.
Okay. I think
for men it's 510.
Yeah. Right.
And then 70 for the jerry bags and 150 for the Husafel. And for the men, it's 100 for the bags and 200 for the Husafel.
Do you know what? I'm Lucy Campbell.
What?
She is an odd. I've seen her carry many an odd object. I think I think that's a good shout. And the run.
That's been the focus of her training as well. Like her games training camp has been all the kind of unusual stuff. So.
Yeah.
I'm sure for many of the athletes it has been, but it'd be cool to see her kind of test something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's an interesting like first 3 events.
And
It's gonna
it's
be
the capital is Friday morning's event.
and
So
then what? So we've
So
got
everyone will still get to
there's
do
not,
that.
well, there's no events Thursday, right?
No, you've got
So there's
some
some
Wednesday.
event 1 and 2 on Wednesday, and then
No,
Saturday
they've got
the
four. They've
capital.
got 4 events on the Wednesday, so it's going to be a tough, long day for them, I think.
Yeah, and then Saturday you've got the capital, you've got the pool swim, and you've got the big lift.
Yeah, that's the way they've sort of framed it.
So that'll be interesting. It's tough also because you kind of got to think who to hold back for certain events.
That's where I'm at, because I would almost double up Roman, but then I don't know.
Yeah, but then if you get one that's going to be like calories on on the Echo
exactly.
bike
Yeah,
and this and that,
if it's just like acid bath or something, and then I'm screwed.
I'm really, like, for me, it's like tier is kind of, do I just use tier on an event when I'm like, oh, I don't know, like, of my team who would really be good here, I'll stick tier in because she's kind of like almost
your
that sure
bank.
thing.
Yeah.
Because with tier, it's so hard to be like, oh, this is it. So like, I would put her in on like she will probably win a swim event, but that's why I've got Yunikoski. So I don't want to use tier on a swim event because also she's like usually going to win a swim event, but she's also going to win a lot of other events. So like hold her for something else. So there's way too much thinking going into this. And also remember, there's a good chance I'm going to just load in a load of people beforehand because I think I probably won't get the chance to do it during the games.
Happen if you just cheekily pick Brent for your third event 3.
I'm almost flipping these vice versa. But because I'm picking Brent, but I'm realizing that I'm just getting flashbacks of Sam Briggs passing Brent Fikowski.
But don't worry, she's not there.
Yeah. So for the moment, I'm saying Brent, but that might be me flipping those back and forth, or doing some research on Dallin Pepper's endurance running.
Yeah. Okay. Well, excellent. This is so if anyone decides, if you're listening to this before Wednesday, so not much
Tomorrow.
time, and you want to do one of these, get started. If you want to involve any of us, just shoot us a message and we'll be happy to jump on. I'm sure Mike will be available to talk you through it as well if you
I just turned into tech support, huh? Yeah, I can show you guys after what you have to do to get on the site, but you guys, I think you're all logged, have accounts, so
yeah,
we can work it out. There's only 3 drop down menus, right? There's only so many combinations there can be.
Yeah. So my Garmin just like signaled up a relax reminder. So this has clearly like stressed me out more than I've let on.
You're just a massive stress head, mate, really.
My heart rate is through the roof, apparently. Okay, never mind. Right, well, thanks, guys. This is the games is about to begin, huh? By the time we speak again on pod,
it'll be done.
Be over.
It'll be done.
Tier will have another games thing under her belt.
Tia will have made history. She will be the most dominant individual athlete in games history.
No, but everyone's going to gang up on her. Haven't you heard?
It doesn't work like that. It
Mate,
doesn't work like that.
honestly, I can't.
It does the Lawn Chair Leaderboarding.
Absolutely. If Tyler, I'd love that. I'd love that little meeting. Maybe that's why Tyler's driven to Madison early. It's like I've proposed Z scores. You know, it seems that you're not keen on this. What about this? We'll just lawn chair it, and you can pick someone. And it doesn't matter that Tier won all the events. Only a couple of them counted.
Yeah.
I just love that the idea is instead of one person training hard and being good enough to beat Tia, what you need is that in every event there's about 4 people that are good enough to beat Tia. That's how you beat Tia. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, if one person can't do it, how are you getting 4 people to do it?
Yeah, but if they all take a little bit off her, no, that's not how it works.
Because
if they're good at lifting, they're probably endurance.
And first and second and third. That way.
They got a first over Tia and then a 30th in every other event. It didn't help anybody.
Tia could come second in every event and she'd still win.
Yeah, like Justin.
I think that they're mixing up CrossFit with Royal Rumble in wrestling.
Yeah, that would be the way.
Mate, that would be. We talked about that with Hunter, didn't we? Before having like a contact thing. Could you imagine that? And event and the cut. There's an event before the cut, and nothing else matters apart from the last 20 people standing or the last 30 people standing here. If you're in the square, you're in.
It's like Amanda Barnhart just like throwing Mal O'Brien at Tia, just like
lifting her above her head.
It's like, oh, we need to get the who. You guys must. Do any of you remember Celebrity Deathmatch? Right, you know, with the
claymation.
The claymation stuff. That'd be brilliant.
Oh my life!
Uh-huh.
I wish I was that good.
That's what would happen.
Yeah, Matt Fraser comes running down the ramp and does a slide right in. He's back. Anyway, that's about as much energy I've had in like 3 weeks.
Maybe that's it, because it seems like, there's this idea that Matt's been training up Mal, right, to take out Tia, like, so that no one has more individual games titles than he does. So it's like train up Mal, she will disrupt Tia's legacy, and that way we'll be tied 5-5. But maybe he's training up Jason just to be an assassin, and he's just gonna like somehow accidentally drop a barbell over the barrier, and it took out Tia, what an accident, and that's why he's had Jason.
The easiest thing is just to spike a drink, right?
Just GW 50151.
Well, no, because obviously, Sam, we all know that CrossFit protects its big name athletes.
Yeah, true.
So that wouldn't.
She won't be tested.
Yeah, that wouldn't do anything. Right. Oh, wonderful. Well, it was lovely to catch up with Tom after so long. Dad duties kept him very busy, but it's good to see that you've still got, the passion is still there. The stats may not be, but the passion is still there. So that's.
So we've got Mike to stats now. Don't worry. I mean, we're not replacing you, Tom. Obviously,
no, it's fine.
You just have a different role.
Well, I do you know what Mike asked me to do, and I haven't replied to his message, and I'm not going to. So I was just commenting that like Brian put out his top 40, like it's not his top 5, but 1 to 40 on the game's finishes, which I think is like very,
it's awful.
It's one thing to be like, oh, I think these people will be in the top 5. It's another to then rank everybody else.
Yeah, they are.
And I just like shared that, and then Mike was like, "Hey, if you want to do it, I'm kind of keeping track of."
I was saying I was keeping track of anybody that was already doing it. I'm not asking anybody to.
And I'm like, nah, that's
do my insane bracket.
I couldn't.
I'm not an analyst.
Any conviction past top 10. I genuinely would have no conviction.
I like this person's name. I think they'll do very well.
No one wants to listen to that.
They're from.
Right. Brilliant. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry if it wasn't as great probably listening as it was visually, because sometimes we were just umming and erring about who to pick. But what I always say with these drafts is, after we've spoken with such conviction about these athletes, think about how much enjoyment you will have watching the games, seeing the athletes we've picked get destroyed on the events we thought they were going to be good at.
Mm-hmm.
And you can sit there just chuckling away knowing, no, that was Sam's pick. And
well, is it it's probably not even I'm going to post. I'll probably post mine on Instagram, my picks for each thing, so you can at me, at any of us, to troll us or whatever you want to do. I'm not bothered about that sort of stuff.
And make sure, if you're watching the games, jump in on the YouTube comments, because you'll probably see me lurking around there, talking as well, because not all of us could make it to Madison. So
no,
because CrossFit only cares about Americans. No, let's not go down that road.
Just take it.
Okay, we were just
to London, and you can have all of that.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. You can follow Tom at Chalking Fitness. where you get all the UK stats. He's hot on all of that. You can follow Sam at La Roche Original, see what events he may be screaming at in the coming weeks and months. You can follow Mike at 88 miles per hour. That's 8 written with letters, the number 8, and then MPH, because he likes to make life simple. And you can follow me at Jason CF Media. We're all doing different stuff, but of course you can also follow the main. I was going to say the main channel, I guess, for this, which is plate.stack.chat on Instagram as well, and probably that's where we'll be like reposting all the different leagues and things that people have put up. So thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you after the games.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, bye.